I would like you to please take a look at this photo that we have on the right side. So, vibrations create sound waves. These waves they actually transfer through the air until they reach into our ears so we can hear it. So, the basic idea is vibrations, they need an object to travel through, and air is one of also the objects which allows the sound waves or the vibrations travel through so that we can hear it. So now I would like you to take a look with me to our book. I would like you to take a close look at our science pupils book from page 124 until page 129. So we got a concert. So in this concert, we have lots of musicians or people playing music around. So they create the music or the songs that we will listen to sometimes. So, just to let you know that instrumental or musical instruments, they actually create the vibrations also to enable these vibrations produce the sound. Now, let's take a look at page 126 now here. So, if you got a rubber, try to stretch it and pluck the stretch rubber band. So, what happens to it? You can just hear the vibration that it was created, so which created a foam. So different things that we have on this book over here, and so let's take a look now here at like what we saw in the video. We got the ruler on. We got so here, like the previous video you just watched, they got a ruler which they put it on the edge of the table, and when they actually plucked it, what happened is the little ruler was shaking, which created some vibration, and you could therefore hear the sound of the ruler shaking. Okay, now I would like you to just try to no, now we need to focus on these words vibrate, and I would like you also to take a close look at the tuning fork. So remember these names vibrate, tuning fork. So, what's a tuning fork? Just like the video we watched, it gave you a quick idea what a tuning fork is actually like. We got the prongs, these edges of our tuning fork, which is the tip of our tuning fork, is called actually prongs. Okay, so these are different types of tools which create vibrations and therefore which can create a sound. So these are, we can call them sources of vibrations, okay, or sources for sounds. So we are a source of sound too, because when we talk, we can create the sounds or we can create the words when we talk together. So what happens is that our vocal cords over here in our neck, they actually vibrate and therefore they actually produce the sound. So this is how we talk. Okay, now um, I would like you now to look at this page over here. I just mentioned to you that there's something called vocal cords. So these are the vocal cords that we have in our mouth, the deep of our throat. So vocal cords are the ones that vibrate and create the sounds. So when we talk or sing, the vocal cords in our voice box, the voice box is what we have the vocal cords in. So they actually vibrate and make sounds. So the voice box is a part of our throat. Okay, now you can do this kind of activity at your house. Try to drum or try to use different types of tools which create vibrations or different types of sounds. So try to use household things such as pots, pans, ladles, buckets, and brooms. Don't make your parents angry when you use these things. Be careful. Okay. So try to just make these kind of sounds and then find out how they vibrate and create you all of these kind of nice voices. Okay, now I would like you to work on this page 129. So we have an exercise. So how are sounds made? So we got here symbols, and we got the bee, the singer, the wind chime. So question number one, how are sounds made? Try to look at the previous pages that we have in our book and try to think about what the answer is for question number one. Okay, now what are vibrating these things to make sounds? So look at these kind of photos, try to think about them and what makes them create or what makes them vibrate to create the sounds. Okay. Now, this is the only thing you're going to be working on, but please don't go further to other pages. So don't go to page 130 or other pages. We're going to stop until page 129, so you won't have lots of room for your break time. Okay. So I would like you now to look at your science activity book, and you will also work on different experiments you can do at your house, and they're so nice and lovely. So worksheet number one, page 82. It actually allows you to use a fork to just get any type of fork and try to pluck it or try to hit it on an edge and try to find out what's going to happen. So bring a tuning fork to your ear. Do you hear any sound? If you try to put just any fork nearby your ear, do you hear a sound? Probably no. So try to put the answer there and hit a prong, a prong of the tuning fork on a rubber activator. So quickly bring the tuning fork to your ear. Find out what happens. So tuning forks wouldn't have them, but if you get any tool that's like a rubber or maybe a ruler, you can just try to do this experiment. Okay, now if you just look at the next page that we have here, so if you got table tennis, of course, maybe some of you don't have, but what I'm trying to tell you is try to hit any type of tool that you might have, which is an iron or plastic material. So try to find out what things you might observe. Explain your observation. Why did this happen? What happened to the vibration? Did it create a sound? Were you able to hear it? Was it so noisy? What kind of sound did it make? Was it sharp? Was it soft? Okay. Now place a basin of water on a table. Okay. Predict what happens if you got a basin of water. If you got, let's say you got a cup, okay, which is a bit full of, not full of water, uh, half, just half full. So predict what will happen if you use the vibrating prongs of the tuning fork to touch the surface of the water. So if you try to hit your fork or maybe your any type of material you vibrated, so try to make it touch the water. So try to predict what will happen to it. Okay, so to get your prediction is actually to tell about what you think might happen. Okay, now let's go to the next page. So it might be a bit difficult, but because if you can't do this kind of experiment in your science activity book, the only way for you to do it maybe is to watch the video which I actually showed you. Okay, this is the only thing you will be doing. So watch the video and try to observe from the video which you saw at the beginning and tell me what you saw. Okay.